Joyce here. Today I want to talk about core. We talk a lot on the website about being in your core and working from your core. So I wanted to really dig in. What is your core? So one great analogy or visual is picture yourself in the center of a hurricane, the eye of the storm. So the storm's going on around you and you're just handling it as it comes. And you're not attaching to whatever's flying by you, or you're just handling the problem and then staying in your core. It's really about being grounded. It's about being present. It's about being very aware, very conscious of what's going on. I wish I could make the hurricane go away. Unfortunately, I can't. But that awareness that the hurricane can be there and you can stay in that eye of the storm, that's a great depiction of what being in your core is. Secondly, I'm going to give a movie reference that I actually gave at a lunch and learn the other day and no one knew it. Starting to feel a little old. But anyway, there's a movie called Family Man with Nicolas Cage. And the backdrop is that he's an executive and he is brokering this incredibly large, like multi-billion-dollar merger. And everyone around him is going crazy. Oh, there's a new competitor, there's this, that, all these different things going on. And he just stays in his core. So it's a really good example of staying in your core in a crazy business setting. Now he's a charismatic leader. Each profile is going to look a little different in their core. So be aware of that. A charismatic leader is going to come across one way. A creative idealist being in their core might look very different. Or a knowledgeable achiever might look different again. Each profile looks different in their core, feels different in their core. For me, being in my core, I love being near water. I love being outside. I love that expansive feeling, which we'll get to in a little bit. And anything like that, that's how I feel the most in my core, the most easiest for me to get in my core. So why do we want to be in our core? For me, being in my core, I am far more productive, more creative. There's less conflict. And I'm much happier. I feel like I have some element of control is the wrong word, but just that I'm able to go with the punches. So how do you get into your core? One of the first ways is to embrace your profile and to really start to understand your profile and your secondary profile and to embrace the fact that that may look different than everybody else, but it's you. So being in your core may look very different than someone else being in their core. The second thing is, how do you get pulled into your defense? Especially at work. Do you get pulled in because you're overworked, you're stressed? Do you have conflict? Or boredom. Boredom can pull you out of your core into your defense. So just watch and really start to notice how you feel. I almost feel like, like I'm resisting something when I go into my core. When I go into my defense. And so it doesn't feel good. The more you spend in your core, the more you realize that being in your defense doesn't feel good. And then that gives you your, the light bulb goes on. Oh, let me step back into my core. Finally, what other ways can you be in your core? So there's the profile and making sure that you are aware when you're coming out of your profile. And then there's the expansion tools. I give a lot of expansion tools on the website. Pick your favorite. You don't have to use them all. Just pick your favorite. It doesn't matter which one it is. If you're expansive, if you feel more expansive, any problem is going to look smaller. It's going to give you a different perspective. And again, more creativity. And I give you tools like standing in your power. That is a real feeling of being in your core. The pause button, if you're able to be aware that you're stepping into some sort of defensive conflict with someone else and pause, you're in your core. These are all great tools that you can implement. And I guess the most important thing is when you're in your core, so these are all tools to build the muscle of being in your core. When you're in your core, you're very aware and you're very conscious of what's going on. And in those moments, you can make a choice as to how you would like to act. And those actions reinforce the awareness, reinforce the time in your core. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the more you're in your core, the more you realize when you're coming out, and it doesn't feel good. So hopefully this is helpful as far as what is being in your core. Each profile is a little bit different. Why do you want to be in your core, and how do you get in your core? All the different tools that you'll find on the website.